Hi, everyone. Hello. Hello. I'm streaming on Facebook Live, Facebook group, and Instagram. So, hi, everyone. I hope you all are well. I hope things are going well today. It is almost Friday, so I am feeling pretty good. And we're also getting closer to our Pivot into Your Purpose workshop. And so, just to introduce myself for those of you who don't follow me usually, my name is Dr. Omalara Thomas Uwemedimo. I'm CEO and founder of Melanin Medicine and Motherhood. I am also a pediatrician by training, and I also am a really avid supporter of thinking about how we make sure that the lives of Black women health professionals are fulfilled lives, are integrated lives, and that we're not normalizing struggle and sacrifice, and that we're striving to actually live in our purpose. And so that brings me to our Pivot into Your Purpose workshop. Hi, Khalifa. And so, once again, I'm Dr. Omalara Thomas Uwemedimo, CEO and founder of Melanin Medicine and Motherhood, which is the only company that provides comprehensive personal and professional development support for Black women health professionals specifically. And so, today I am continuing with our countdown. We are on day 4 of basically the countdown to our Pivot into Your Purpose workshop. And so I'm going to be dropping some gems, and I've been dropping some gems since day 1, which was on Monday, and I'll be continuing that until day 7, which is the day before we start our workshop on Monday. So if you don't know what Pivot into Your Purpose workshop is, really quickly, just want to make sure that you are clued in so that you can register for it. So, hi, Sherry, so that you can register for it. But our Pivot to Your Purpose workshop is basically a 5-day workshop where we intensively bring you from unclear, burnt out, frustrated, unfulfilled, you fill in the blanks, hi, NECA, to basically getting more clarity on what your purpose is and actually starting to take action towards that. And so a lot of times some people have taken it once, some people take it multiple times. Hi, Corey. A bunch of people, have taken it, and even just that has been pivotal in terms of how they approach their lives, how they start to get rid of certain things that were blocking them from their fulfillment and their happiness. And so we really just continue to do it. We do it pretty much quarterly. So we won't be doing it again for another 3 months. So definitely, if you know someone, or if you are someone who is feeling as a Black woman in medicine or in academia, stressed, burnt out, frustrated, let me know if that's you. If you're watching, if you're feeling any of those things, overwhelmed, then definitely this is a workshop you want to take. So today we're going to be talking about day 4. Well, it's the countdown. So it's day 4 of our prep for your pivot. Why I do this the week before is that what I've noticed after doing this workshop so often is that a lot of women come into it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. I've never asked these questions, or maybe I asked these questions a long time ago. And it's nice to actually have this prep for your pivot where we're starting to get the juices flowing and starting to get you to start thinking about, what would it be like? What are the things I need to be doing now to actually move closer to my purpose? You can think of it almost a little bit as a sneak peek as well. And so I wanted to go through just really quickly the first 3 days. Hi, Brianna. So I wanted to go through the first 3 days of what we actually covered. I'm not going to go in depth because you can go straight to IGTV and you can see the whole series of the 3 days. But what we're doing is we're spelling out purpose in these 7 days, since we know that purpose is actually a life or death issue. People who are not in their purpose have a higher mortality. And as Black women, I can't choose to have anything else elevating my my risk of dying. I can't do that. And so if purpose is going to help me get closer to the longevity that I want in my life, I'm going to make sure I'm living closer and aligned with that purpose. So what we talked about for our P in purpose, we talked about making sure that we are pinpointing our passion. Okay. And what is it that I love? What is it that I have been ignoring? That's really important for moving towards your purpose. For you, we talked about uncovering our blocks. What is it that I keep not thinking that I can't have, that I don't need? And how is that stopping me from moving into the thing that is going to fulfill me and that's going to bring me the best, most meaning, and the thing that I've been pushing aside, even though I know it's critically important for me? Number three, we talked about the R, which really was about reassessing your values. That was a deep one that we talked about yesterday, which was about the fact that most of us are just living our lives and not really thinking about how to live a value-led life, which helps us to create the boundaries to help make sure that our purpose actually happens and the thing that we want to accomplish. And, some of you, I just want to be clear that purpose being an all-encompassing thing, right? You can use these strategies for even just things that are really important for you right now that may not be fully connected to your purpose, because maybe some of you, hi Rebel Van, hi Kyle Manjifa, you guys got some hard names. I know these aren't your real names, but they're hard. So anyway, what I'm saying is that sometimes the three things that I've talked about already and what we're going to talk about day 4, even if you're not clear on your purpose, which will happen during the workshop once you register, but even if you're not clear, you can use these to start. If there are things that you haven't moved forward on, things that you want to pivot into, things that you want to shift into, the problem is that sometimes we're letting everything get in the way of that thing because it's so important and it's so big, and we just are like, I don't know if I can do it. So it's almost like a self-sabotage. So these strategies would be helpful for helping you move forward to any of those things that you want to achieve. But, purpose is huge, right? Purpose is something that I'm hoping that you can get clarity on in any case. Hi, Sinato MD. How are you? Today, we're actually going to be talking about number 4 is the other P, which is practicing daily reflection. And so I am a busy mom, okay? I am Black woman health professional. I get it. It's like, look, I woke up. I should be just thanking God that I woke up today. That should be enough. But what I want to say is that there are some things in our lives that we are like, I want to do this. I want this to move forward, and it's not moving, right? And too often we're letting busy, right? We're claiming the word busy. I mean, our society actually elevates people who are busy, right? If you asked me, how are you? And I said, I'm not busy. I'm doing well. I'm fine. Like, some people would give me the side eye, like, wait, what? You're just okay? And so that's problematic. That's kind of how we've normalized being struggling, sacrificing, and being busy. And so what we do with using daily reflection is that we can allow ourselves to start thinking about, if we're reflecting on something, then it allows for us to take control back of our day, and then allows for us to now channel our day and say, this is the way I want it to go. This is what I want to achieve. Okay, so I want to talk about 3 things that are going to be really important in this. Hi, T.L. Ledesma. Hi, Atara Dessa. I'm telling you, I don't know. Pop your names in here. That would be helpful for me. Give a girl a break, please. Pop your names in here. But it's really good to see all of you. So, when we talk about daily reflection, there's a few things that are really important. And as you know, I always come on here with notes because I'm not going to be rambling. And so one of the things that I think is really important is thinking about, what is it that you want to accomplish, right? What is the vision? Where do you want to go? A few days ago, we talked about the fact that sometimes when we're not visioning, it's like driving and looking at the rearview mirror only, right? And what happens with that, I think you all can imagine, is that we end up crashing, and we're only using what happened in the past to help direct us. Unfortunately, that's not going to get us where we want to go, right? And so we have to start using the front windshield and actually looking forward and saying, where is it? Where's the destination I'm going to? And now what is it that I need to do right now? Now, for many of us, if we haven't been used to futuring and doing things like that, starting with a week, right, of what you want to end in the week, that's going to move you towards what you want. So for example, I have somebody who's on here who does a podcast, right? and she wants that podcast to get a lot of listeners, right? So on here, hey, Dr. Tina, yes. Sorry. So she wants tunnel vision, exactly. Not even that. Imagine if you're just looking backwards, right? And you're driving. What is that? But that's how we operate. It's reactive instead of inventive, right? We're always reacting. We're like, okay, what do I do next? Instead of starting to think about how do we strategize and move forward. So I have this podcast, right? And basically, if I want to get a lot of listeners for it, I have to think about, okay, what is it that I would like to accomplish this week? Okay. Well, this week, I just want to get the podcast done and get an actual topic and get that moving forward. So it allows for us to be a little bit more, if you're not used to strategic futuring, at least a little easier for us to think about, okay, what do I want by Friday? Okay. So when we're thinking about that and we're looking at, okay, what is it that I want by Friday? A few things that you have to think about is, what is it that now I am doing today to get there, okay? But what does daily reflection mean? Daily reflection means in the morning, I'm thinking about what is it that I need to actually do to get to that end goal for Friday. But then there's always a check out as well. So the check out is actually looking back to almost do like a post-mortem, right? To kind of assess what happened in the day. And it's not just like reflecting, I wonder what happened, but it's more so strategic. So what I mean is I usually ask 3 questions, okay? So those who are empowered in our coaching know what those 3 questions are. They come from the Army. It's called the After Action Review. And when we're coaching, when we're in our group office hours, we actually ask what went well, what was challenging, and what did I learn? But those aren't the 3 questions I'm going to give to you, but they're great 3 questions to ask after any, not just problem that happens, but success. Because oftentimes the success that happens in our lives, we distance ourselves from the success. All the problems that happen, we're like, that's us, it's me, and we personalize it. But all of the success that happens in our life, we're like, oh yeah, it was because the moon was, full. It was because, it was Thursday, but we oftentimes don't say, no, it was because of me. I did that. And so getting used to making sure that our successes, that we actually say what went well, what was challenging, what did I learn, is really important. But the 3 things that I want you to think about for today is, when we're thinking about getting closer to things that are hard for us to accomplish or that we haven't been moving forward, the best place to look at is, what is it that came in my way? What is it that actually stood in my way when I was trying to get to that end, right? So let's say I didn't record the podcast episode that I'm talking about that is going to be important for me getting to my big vision, which is staying consistent and then getting more listeners, right? So what is it that I didn't? There's 3 things I want to talk to you. This is the T, okay? T-E-A. 3 things: time, energy, or attention, okay? So for time, so it's going to be one of 3 things that is keeping you from moving forward that issue that you wanted to move forward. So if it's time, you want to say to yourself, and maybe you have something already, pop in the chat if there's something that is like on your bucket list that you want to accomplish, and what would you have to do this week to actually move that forward, right? And then if you look at today, what did I do? Or what didn't I do that didn't allow for that to move forward? What was the block? Was it a time issue? Was it an energy issue? Or was it an attention issue? So for time, one of the things that I'm always talking about is for us to now go back to, if there's not enough quote unquote time, is this something that I need to do, right? Is it something, a lot of people say, they spend time on, how will I do this, right? Instead of, who's going to do this, okay? And so many times it might be you, because you're the most efficient person at doing that. But a lot of times we're spending time doing things that aren't in our strengths, and then that's an issue. And so instead of looking at it and saying, okay, if it's a time issue, is it me? or should I actually give this to somebody else to do? And when we don't start doing that, we start not valuing our time in the way that we should, and then it keeps us in it serves as a roadblock, I would say, to actually moving forward. The second thing is energy. So if you notice that I didn't get it done because I was deadly just tired, okay? That is a sign for you to say, what's my self-preservation strategy? What should I actually be pouring into myself? What are the things that I need to be doing for myself that I'm not? I know it was sleep, or I know it was because I didn't exercise today. Start to recognize what those patterns are. And you do that through this practicing daily reflection. So is it a time issue when you check out? Is it an energy issue? Or is it an attention issue? And with attention, what that has to do with is the fact that most times we pride ourselves on being amazing multitaskers. We are not, there's no such thing as multitasking. I said it, okay? What happens is literally you are moving your focus from one thing to the other thing, and it actually takes almost up to 18 minutes for us to regain the focus that we had once we move our attention to something else. So the most efficient way for us to do things is actually to block, right? But blocking time means you have to actually set boundaries. And so those boundaries a lot of times require courageous conversations with certain people, or it requires us to make courageous boundaries in terms of, this is the only time I can do this, you know? And those are difficult, but those are necessary. And that is usually one of the hardest things, because then it allows for our attention to be diverted. And when our attention, confused mind does not move forward, it says no. And it just says, okay, I'll just stay in this place. If you can think about it, you got two people, one is rowing this way and one is rowing the other way. You're staying in the same place and you're not accelerating forward. And so thinking about, how do I make sure that I'm minimizing my distractions by actually identifying, how do I need to block my time and set better boundaries and have those conversations to make that happen. So that is what I wanted to talk to you about. And I would love for you to pop in the chat what you're taking away from this. But thinking about when you're doing your daily reflection, of course, starting the day, we all got great goals of what is it that we want to accomplish this week? What am I going to get? What am I going to do today to get towards that? But the checkout is particularly important. And what you want to do when you're checking out is, of course, think about if something didn't get done. Just checking out really quick. Does that have to be a long process? Maybe 3-5 minutes. What was it? Was it a time issue? Was it an energy issue? Was it an attention issue? And then go through kind of how you can actually make some pivots around that. Time, does this need to be outsourced because I'm not doing this in a reasonable amount of time? Energy, do I need to go to sleep? Do I need to take a nap? Do I need to do some exercise or something and get back? I need to take a vitamin, right? Do I need to change that, like change something to my lifestyle? Or is it attention? Do I need to have a conversation with somebody that you interrupted me? I need to block this time out, or I need to like ask somebody, hey, you need to take care of this because this time is not going to happen. It's not going to happen at this time. I want to block time out. So that, I hope, is helpful in terms of thinking about how you practice daily reflection. Once again, this is just a little nugget. We got a lot that we're going to be doing on the Pivot into Your Purpose workshop. It is on Monday. You can still register. It is completely free. You register and you get eligible. You get your workbook and you're eligible for lots of giveaways. That includes books, gift card, planners, coaching scholarships. Yeah, we're doing it big. And we're really excited because whenever we do it, because we don't do it that often, but whenever we do it, we really identify a lot of women who are just able to finally spend that time on themselves and make some really transformative changes. And so that's why we continue to do it. So if you don't register, if you haven't registered, the link is bit.ly, bit.ly, and it's / uppercase, all uppercase, MMM for Melanin Medicine Motherhood, MMM Pivot 2020. And if you're on Instagram, it's in my bio. If you're in the Facebook group, and if you're not in the Facebook group, you should come into our Facebook group if you're on Facebook, because it's great. We have about 1,300 women in there for Black women health professionals. And so you come in there and you'll see all of the Pivot into Your Purpose workshop in the feed. And you'll also see all the videos. And if you're on Instagram, you can see them on my IGTV channel. Okay, so catch up. Tomorrow we'll be doing day 5, Saturday, day 6, Sunday, day 7, and then Pivot into Your Purpose workshop. So it's good to see you. Thank you so much for listening, and definitely share with a friend. I'll be uploading this to IGTV, and if you're in the Facebook group, tag a friend who's in the Facebook group, or if you're watching this on our business page, tag a friend who might need this, and just make sure to register for the workshop. And one thing that I always say is that a lot of people have started to do it with somebody. One, to hold them accountable to actually finish the 5 days, but 2, because it's just a lot more fun to connect with somebody around trying to get closer to your goals and really shift how life is going for you into the way that you want it to be. Okay? So take care, everyone. Have a good night. See you later. Bye.